Once upon a time in a small village nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a wise old man named Tomi. He was known far and wide for his profound wisdom and ability to unravel life's mysteries through his captivating stories. The villagers often sought his counsel and guidance whenever they faced challenges or sought enlightenment. One bright morning, as the sun bathed the village in its golden rays, a young man named Morgan approached Tomi with a heavy heart. His face was etched with worry and his eyes filled with sadness. Tomi noticed his distress and beckoned him to sit beside him. "What troubles you, young Morgan?" Tomi inquired, his voice filled with warmth and compassion. Morgan sighed and began to pour out his heart. "Oh, wise Tomi, I feel burdened by the weight of my mistakes. I have hurt someone I love deeply, and the guilt consumes me. Is there any redemption for a soul stained with regret?" Tomi listened intently, his wise eyes gleaming with understanding. He knew that the burden of guilt could be one of the most profound struggles a person could face. With a gentle smile, he spoke, "My dear Morgan, let me share with you a tale, a story of sand and stone. In a distant land, there once existed a magnificent castle. The castle stood atop a hill, its grandeur captivating all who beheld it. Within its walls lived a kind and noble king who ruled with fairness and justice. The castle's courtyard was adorned with a majestic fountain that enchanted all who visited. One day, a traveler arrived at the castle, seeking an audience with the king. He carried a small bag filled with sand. As he approached the guards, he explained that he had a gift for the king, a gift that held great significance. The guards, perplexed by the traveler's claim, allowed him to enter the castle grounds. The traveler was escorted to the courtyard, where the king eagerly awaited his arrival. The traveler knelt before the king and presented him with the bag of sand. The king, curious and intrigued, asked, "What is the meaning behind this gift, dear traveler?" The traveler smiled and replied, "Oh, mighty king, this sand represents the mistakes and regrets we carry within us. Each grain symbolizes a burden we choose to bear." The king pondered the traveler's words, his gaze fixed upon the bag of sand. After a moment of reflection, he asked, "And what shall I do with this gift? How can I alleviate the burden of regrets?" The traveler rose to his feet and said, "Oh, benevolent king, you hold the power to transform the sand into stone. With the wisdom and compassion that grace your noble heart, you can shape the regrets of the past into stepping stones that guide you towards a brighter future." The king, filled with gratitude for the traveler's profound insight, thanked him and bid him farewell. The traveler left, carrying with him the king's newfound wisdom and hope. Tomi paused for a moment, allowing the story to settle within Morgan's heart. The young man's eyes glistened with understanding, and a glimmer of hope began to replace the despair in his gaze. "Dear Morgan," Tomi continued, "we all make mistakes in life, for we are but human. However, it is our response to those mistakes that defines our character and shapes our future. Just as the king transformed the sand into stone, you too have the power to transform your regrets into lessons that guide you towards forgiveness and growth." Morgan's eyes widened as he grasped the depth of Tomi's words. "But how can I possibly begin this transformation, wise Tomi? How can I make amends for the pain I have caused?" Tomi smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "The journey of redemption begins with self-reflection and acceptance. Acknowledge the mistakes you have made, and with a sincere heart, seek forgiveness from those you have hurt. Offer them the stones of your transformation as a symbol of your commitment to change and growth." Morgan's face brightened as newfound hope surged within him. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination to set things right. Over the following weeks, Morgan embarked on a journey of self-discovery and reconciliation. He approached those he had hurt, offering them heartfelt apologies and sharing the valuable lessons he had learned from his mistakes. Some accepted his apologies, while others remained guarded, but Morgan understood that healing takes time. As Morgan continued along his path, he discovered that forgiveness was not solely about seeking absolution from others, it was also about forgiving himself. He realized that self-forgiveness was a necessary step in transforming his regrets into stepping stones that propelled him towards a brighter future. Years passed, and Morgan emerged from his trials as a wiser and more compassionate soul. The weight of his past mistakes no longer burdened him. Instead, they served as reminders of the journey he had undertaken and the person he had become. Morgan returned to Tommy, his heart overflowing with gratitude. "Oh, wise Tommy, your story of sand and stone transformed my life. Through self-reflection, forgiveness, and a commitment to change, I have found redemption and inner peace." Tommy smiled, his eyes filled with pride. "My dear Morgan, it was you who had the strength and courage to embark on this transformative journey. I merely offered the story as a guiding light. Remember, my young friend, that life is a series of lessons, and it is through our mistakes that we discover our true potential." Morgan bid farewell to Tommy, forever grateful for the wisdom and guidance bestowed upon him. As he walked away, he carried within his heart the story of sand and stone, ready to share its transformative power with others in need. And so, the tale of sand and stone became a cherished legend in the village, reminding all who heard it that mistakes and regrets could be transformed into stepping stones that led to redemption, growth, and a brighter future.